I've got this rage inside of me that I just can't wait to unleash. I'm invincible, I'm unstoppable, I'm a lion.
All right, everybody. Hi, and welcome to the official Body Spartan podcast. My name is Gabe Tuft. I am the founder of Body Spartan and your host for this evening's podcast. Now, tonight we got something special for you guys. Typically, it's Priscilla, my wife and co-founder of Body Spartan, and myself here in the studio giving it to you. But tonight, what we have is a pre-recorded Priscilla podcast. And this is going to be a really amazing one, guys. This is about reaching your goals faster with less effort. And if there's one thing that I can tell you guys over the years that I've learned is that we need to learn how to work smarter, not harder. Yes, effort is needed. Lots of effort is needed. Lots of work is needed to get to your goal. But is there a way to do it so that you can leverage your time and get the most out of it? Is there a way that you can still work hard but get more out of it? And that's what Priscilla is going to talk about tonight. So without any further ado, I'm going to turn this over to her. Here we go.
Hello, everybody. I hope that you're ready to get hot and heavy tonight because, as you know, I don't sugarcoat anything. I don't pretend to expect you to think that meeting huge goals is something that's easily attained. And tonight, we are going to be talking about something that you might not even know is possible. Obviously, you follow a workout program, you follow a nutrition program. But did you know that you can achieve your fitness goals or any goal in life faster with less effort? We're going to harness the power of your subconscious mind to do some incredible things with your life tonight, you guys. Now, some of you are listening to this and you're thinking, oh my gosh, I'm so tired. I've had such a long day. Maybe you've had a difficult work day. Maybe you have other things on your mind. And I want you to do something with me right now. I want you to take a moment to be present. We're going to go ahead and forget everything that happened earlier on in the day. Maybe, your dog bit you on the leg on the way out and the boss yelled at you and your kid's being a jerk. And let's just let that go for right now. There's other things that you might need to get done. Maybe you're studying for a test. Maybe you're not looking forward to facing a partner who doesn't understand the time that you're taking to grow personally by being present with us right now. So let's let those things go. Let's make a decision to be present and be in the now, because that's all we have. Anxiety and depression are from two main causes. Focusing on the past, something that happened before, trauma, or focusing on the future, something you're afraid might happen. So the secret to releasing that anxiety and doing powerful things in your life is to make a conscious effort to be in this moment. Whatever happened before, we're going to let that go. Whatever is about to happen, we're going to let that go. And we're going to make a choice right now, because that is going to allow you to absorb this material a lot more readily, and it will change your life. If you put these things into practice that we're going to talk about right now, you won't come out on the other side the same person, because you're going to have tools that I wish I had known years ago. I would have been so much further ahead. But these are tools that are available for you right now. So that being said, I want you to just take a moment with the conscious effort to be in the present moment. And I want you to take a deep breath. I want you to inhale the ability to learn, the ability to grow, the desire to grow. And I want you to exhale anything that might be troubling you from earlier on in the day or frustrating you about the future, and just be here right now. Dedicate yourself to allow this period of time to grow you into the human that you were created to be and do. So who is it that you're created to be? What is it that you're created to do? It's much more than you could possibly fathom. Most of us are working at about 10 to 20% of our potential. So go ahead and take in that deep breath and exhale. If you can, do that 2 more times. Exhaling any stress, any worry. And one last time, if you're sitting next to somebody, or if you're just watching me right now, take this last breath with me. Because when you unite breaths with someone else, you connect with them on a deeper level. This is real stuff. When Gabe and I have heated discussions or troubling times where we're not seeing eye to eye, 100% of the time, we take a deep breath together. Usually 5 to 7 deep breaths. And we look each other right in the eyes when we're taking that deep breath. And nothing connects two human beings more than that. So let's take this last breath together. If there's someone sitting next to you, look them in the eyes. Inhale. And exhale. Let's get started on this thing. So what we are talking about tonight is how to reach your fitness goals faster with less effort. But I'm going to let you in on a little secret. It's not just good for your fitness goals. These are tools that you can use to make more money, to make your business thrive, to have a more enriching relationship with your spouse, with your partner, with your child, with your friends, to help build self-confidence. Fitness is not just about what goes on in the gym. In fact, very little of it has to do with what goes on in the gym. Because what are we doing in the gym? What are we doing when we're working out? We are breaking down our muscles. They're repairing themselves when you're outside of the gym. And that is when the magic happens, when you're resting, when you're recovering. Yes, it absolutely takes that effort to get off your butt and turn off the TV and go and, work out. Push yourself past your limits, hit those PRs. But it's the time in between when you're really growing. So it's imperative that time is spent making your work count that you just did. So your nutrition, yes, very important. What else? How about your mindset? Because if you don't believe you can do it, you won't. And if you don't have the motivation to do it, you won't. How about your environment? If you're in an environment where there's constant tension and constant anger, now you're not a victim. We're going to get into all of this. But I want you to think of the other 23 hours in a day. You're in the gym 1 hour. What about the other 23 while your muscles are recovering and building? We're going to get into that. What the heck do you do? So a lot of us don't meet our fitness goals. I want you to think right now of a reason that you haven't met your past fitness goal. Maybe you had a weight loss goal. Why didn't you meet that goal? Was it because you just didn't really have the motivation to keep going? Maybe you just, it's hard to keep up on the diet, whatever. But it is so much deeper seated than that. It has to do with your limiting beliefs and examining the limiting beliefs. Because if you are going to grow, you got to dig into the trenches of your heart and notice the things that are there that you don't want there. Are they benefiting you? Or are they harming you? And once you realize what those things are, you have the potential to knock them on their butts and progress forward powerfully. And that is what we believe you are capable of doing. And that is what we expect of you because we see you succeed every single day. We see your transformations. And we're not going to stand here and pretend that it doesn't take work outside the gym. So much of revolution, for example, is mindset and subconscious mind programming. For those of you that are on Revolution and not doing your daily audio at nighttime or at some point during the day, you can turn that thing on and fall asleep. It still works. But we are dealing with the subconscious mind. And the subconscious mind is the real part of your mindset that believes that you can't do it or believes it's not worth it. Trust me, it's worth it to feel amazing. It's worth it to not be in tears before date night because you have nothing to wear. It's worth it to believe in your ability to accomplish something huge. So let's examine some self-limiting beliefs. I will start by telling you some of mine. Of course, that's the fun part, right? I watched my parents when I was growing up constantly diet, and then give up on their diet and give up on their diet. So every single January, my dad would get on Weight Watchers and my mom would get on Weight Watchers, and they would whine and complain about the diet and talk about how little amount of food that they are eating, how little amount of weight that they've lost. And they would lose some weight. My dad would lose a lot more weight than my mom. My mom would be like, oh, this isn't fair. And by Valentine's Day, they would give up because, the chocolates come out and you got your sweetheart and you guys are, cozied up by the fire and maybe you want a little decadent chocolate dessert or whatever. But I watched this cycle. I watched the weight loss and the weight gain and the weight loss and the weight gain and the aversions towards certain foods and the way that their diet and health kicks, they weren't even really that healthy. They were eating processed foods. A lot of the Weight Watchers foods were just like boxed processed foods, which I wouldn't even give to my pet, and I love my pet, goodness sakes. I wouldn't even give it to that horrible hen that won't leave in the front. We have put her on strike, by the way, you guys. We are not feeding that chicken, that hen. I guess I just found out last night on Facebook that it's a boy, I guess. Brought it into the house. I wrapped it up in a nice warm towel and I bring it in. I have it by the fire. Well, there was no fire except for the fire that's outside. But I have it like wrapped up all cozy, like towel from the dryers. Very, very sweet. And I post something on Facebook and I'm like, Henny Penny, isn't she so sweet? I felt bad for her. I brought her in. And everyone's telling me she's a boy. I'm like, oh, that makes sense why she crows. I don't know. I was never a farm girl. I love the idea of being a farm girl. Never was. Anywho, we stopped feeding her a week ago and she still sleeps on our porch every single night. But how do you not love that? It's kind of adorable. So anyways, watching them in this cycle taught me something. It taught me weight loss is hard. Weight loss is temporary. When you lose it, you gain it back. Weight loss or a weight loss plan is something to be angry about. A weight loss plan is something temporary. It's not a lifestyle. Because the other months of the year, we had ice cream every single night. And you guys wonder why I struggle with my weight. It was the psychological thing that was the most difficult with stuff like that. Because we do healthy desserts in our house, for instance. We make them ourselves. Mia makes her own desserts and I'm fine with her having one every single night, but I don't want that psychological attachment to I eat dinner, then I eat something sweet. It's just not a healthy, and plus it really, it makes your taste buds not be able to taste the flavor of the fruits and the vegetables that you're eating. Fruit should taste like dessert to you. If it doesn't, that's a question to ask yourself. Am I having infused waters with sugar or sweetener in them? And the more that you have it, the more that your body craves. So the more you're going to be digging through the cabinets looking for something sugary when really you need water and protein, because those look like sugar cravings a lot of the time. People will be like, oh my gosh, I need cookies or brownies or whatever when I'm fresh on my keto. And I'm like, or do you need water? Do you need more protein? Or maybe you need more fat on Genesis or Revolution with Unleashed. Oh my goodness, you guys eat so much. If you complain about hunger, I'm worried for you. Heavens. But anyways, that's besides the point. What did you see growing up? Were your parents constantly dieting? Were they anorexic? Were your parents people that were yo-yo dieters like mine? Were they obese? Did they struggle with constant overeating and they didn't want to do anything about that? Maybe that scared you. Maybe you have a sibling like I did, where you were constantly being made fun of for being overweight. And so you began to attach with the idea, I am fat, or I am overweight, or being a human being means I am going to struggle with my weight. And then there's those other things you hear, oh, I have weight left over from giving birth to you. I'm like, Mom, I'm 12, I'm like, really still? Like, how long does baby wait? And we lie to ourselves about these things, mostly because we developed a belief that was passed down to us from our parents or passed down to us from a coach or a sibling or a family member. There's so many different influences when we're kids. Oh my gosh, television. Television. Our child has never watched actual TV with actual commercials. And the reason why is because it is a form of brain programming. And you're in an alpha brainwave state, just like you are when you listen to my subliminal audio. So it's a relaxing state. Even those 3 breaths that we took started to bring you towards an alpha brainwave state. And alpha brainwave state is awesome because it is the most powerful place to create something. If you're sitting down to write a book, get in that alpha brainwave state. If you are getting ready to make love, get in the alpha brainwave state. If you're getting ready to spend time with your child and you want it to be meaningful, like the alpha brainwave state is awesome for creation, cognitive ability. The monks that's their jam. That is where they spend a lot of their time. And the reason why is because it increases your ability to think cognitively, think creatively, think outside the box. But when you're watching TV, you're in that same alpha brainwave state. And the suggestions that they're giving you are losing weight is hard. Making money is hard. There are economical problems. These are all things that are not even accurate. They're not accurate because some people are not having economical problems. The only people that are having economical problems are those that are seeing economical problems and believing that our economy is in trouble. Because the truth is, there are so many people that are prospering in massive ways. Not everybody is suffering. And in fact, if you are suffering, I want to encourage you to recognize that that is a choice. When you wake up in the morning and you have fires surrounding your house and burning down your town, you can still choose joy. You can be happy because you decide to be happy. You can be happy understanding that it has nothing to do with your outside circumstances. You can think thoughts of appreciation. You can think thoughts of gratitude. You can just decide that you're not going to focus on the things that don't feel good. I mean, it sounds so easy, but I'm going to challenge you guys to do that, to choose the thoughts that feel good to you. Now, if your business is going under right now, you got to figure out what to do. You got to make some decisions and take some action. Okay, I got that. But you can still choose joy. When the ship's going down, you don't have to be crying. You can be drinking champagne. There may be actions that you need to take in order to, not float to the bottom of the sea. However, it is your choice how you feel in that moment. And I'm not sitting up here on some mountain pretending I'm perfect because you guys, like as leaders, Gabe and I get discouraged a lot because we aim high and we freaking fail hard. And we get back up and we pull each other back up. And we say, remember, we have chosen joy. Remember, we believe the best about what is going on around us. So let's talk a little bit more about those self-limiting beliefs. Understand that a lot of what you're experiencing belief-wise, and this is in the back of your mind, you might not be thinking every time you eat a carrot or, what is it, a cheese stick on Genesis or, whatever you're eating. You may not be thinking, oh man, I hate this. This portion is small. This is not the kind of food that I want to eat. You may not be thinking that consciously. But how do you feel about what you're doing? If you can fall in love with living a fit lifestyle, then the cells of your body are going to reflect that and you will change. Not only will you have the body of your dreams, not only will your business flourish, not only will amazing opportunities come to you out of nowhere, but you're going to have more fun doing it. And the cells of your body are going to change and you're going to anti-age. There are literal anti-aging factors of having a high vibration. If you have a low vibration, high vibration, happy, joyful, choosing to be positive when things are difficult. Positive stamina is what Gabrielle and I call it. And then a low vibrating state is depression, fear, anger. And those things happen, yes. And we accept the fact that we are in human physical form, but how long are you going to be there? Because when difficult times happen, I will cry my eyes out or get angry for exactly 60 seconds. You set the timer, whatever you need to do to get it out of your mind. And then beep, okay, now I'm done. Now I choose joy. Now I find solutions. Now I bring myself to a positive state of mind so that I'm not in a suffering state, because suffering state is choice. You can't decide if there's going to be a fire next to your house or not, but you can decide how you feel about it. and understand that maybe what is occurring, such as, your size 22 pants, ladies, maybe what is occurring is because of past decisions. But we're making a commitment to be present. We're not going to focus on what happened in the past. We're not going to focus on our fears of the future. Oh no, I'm going to die. I'm not going to be there for my kids. That's not going to motivate you to get your butt in the gym. An example of what's going to motivate you to get your butt in the gym, listening to an audiobook that is inspiring you to be the person that you feel like you were put on earth to be. And if you're looking forward to that audiobook, you better believe that you're going to go in, you're going to crush your workout, you're going to grow a ton, and you're going to come out on the other end of that workout feeling amazing. Or maybe you've got a workout partner that you absolutely love and you look forward to working out and spending time with that person because you're sharpening each other emotionally. You're building strength between the two of you that you both look forward to because you see that positive growth. So back to the things that create that resistance, because what it is learned resistance from other people or from other media streams. Maybe you saw it on TV. Maybe it's a family member. We kind of went through that. But it's learned resistance to your goal. You all know that you're here with a particular fitness goal, with a particular financial goal. Let's talk about money, because doesn't everybody like to talk about money? I'm that girl that will talk about everything awkward. Just because I'm sick of nobody talking about it. And I'm like, you know what? Let's talk about money. Let's talk about politics. Let's talk about, but I'm going to put a positive swing on it because I am choosing to live a flourishing, powerful life. It doesn't mean that I'm not addressing the issues that don't feel good to me, but I'm addressing them in a way that gains positive momentum instead of emphasizing what doesn't feel right. So let's talk about money. I grew up in a pastor's home, and we did not have 2 pennies to rub together. Well, we may have had 2, maybe 3. I don't know. I didn't count back then. But my parents really didn't have much to give us at all. My parents talked constantly about the fact that we need to brush our teeth with the water off. The fact that we need to write in every single corner of a piece of paper because we didn't want to waste resources. That we use our pencil down to the itty bitty 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 little nub because we didn't want to waste resources, because resources cost money and we didn't have money. I'm saying it like this in a very particular way and for a very particular reason. There wasn't enough. There was never enough. And no matter how hard they worked, they worked a lot. But pastors don't get paid. Pastors are servants. And then my mom worked in the children's ministry, and she worked in, she had a preschool. But again, they were such givers that there was nothing left for them ever, which means that there wasn't anything left for us. And this story ends so beautifully. I will get to that. But the way that you talk about money in front of your children is imprinting them, because a child until the age of 7, 5 to 7, depending on the child, operates primarily in an alpha brainwave state, which means that they're suggestible, which means that they download something and retain it much more readily than an adult. So we must guard our words when it comes to our children, because they are listening and they are repeating. My 5-year-old, she repeats more stuff than I'd even like to mention. And sometimes I'm like, why are you being so rude? But she's just saying something she heard from me, but putting a different swing on it. I'm like, I was trying to be funny, but then when she said it, she was like kind of being rude. I just realized that every word that comes out of my mouth needs to be seasoned with salt and gift wrapped, not just for her, but for every single person, because it is impossible for you to have an experience or be told something or hear something without it becoming a part of who you are, even if you have a positive twist on it, even though you're like, I survived that, I learned through that, but that had an imprint in your life. Our brains process trillions of bits of information every single day. Billions of bits of information every single day. But the conscious mind only retains a small percentage of that, like in the 5 million bit range. It's still in our brain. We're still processing it. We still observed it. We still experienced it. even though it's not on the forefront of our mind, it is change the way that our subconscious mind works. And for those of you that don't know the difference between conscious and subconscious mind, that is totally okay. So conscious mind is the thing that I'm using right now when I'm selecting my words and I'm delivering something to you. But what your subconscious mind is downloading from this conversation that we're having right now is the love and the passion that I have for you guys in my voice. Those that are watching this live right now, you see in my eyes that I freaking love you and I believe the best in you. And that it is so much more than just delivering free information so that you can, yay, take it, everything's great, everything's fine. No, this has come with prayer over your life. This has come with belief over your life. Understand that your subconscious mind is constantly downloading information that your conscious mind does not even recognize. So I downloaded a whole bunch of poverty. I developed a poverty mindset where I became worried every time I spend money. And I still deal with that from time to time. I've worked a lot on what Gabe and I call prosperity consciousness. But it really took time to get my mind wrapped around the fact that the world is abundant. The universe is abundant. It goes on forever and ever and ever and ever and ever. Look at a tree. Look at the leaves on a tree. This is an abundant universe. And money is not even backed by gold. Like there's currency not backed in gold. There is no end number of how much money is available in the world. So why do we think that when we have a certain amount of money, it's not available for somebody else? That's not true. So if we can give freely when we're in a difficult situation financially, watch as it comes back to us. Whatever you want to get, first give it. And watch how you feel more blessed, how you bless others around you and how it comes back to you. Maybe not from that person. We've given thousands and thousands of dollars to people that we'll never see it back from, but we never expected to see it back. We never asked for it back. We never desired it. They asked for a loan and we're like, don't worry about it. Because we understand that money is abundant. And as much as we give, it will just flow back to us. And that is what just this human consciousness thing is all about. It's like, what can I give to you guys? Because so much has been given to me. And it's not only because so much has been given to me. It's because I love you and I believe in you. And I know that you're going to take this information. You're going to give it to more people. And we can make the world a better place that way. So something really cool happened. My dad was more the guy that was dealing with the difficulty financially. And my mom is just this the most abundant person I have ever met. Things just come to her. She is constantly in a state of love and joy and happiness. That's just her vibe. Like she's like me. I mean, only always, she's just solid. She's solid. So I was watching my mom and then hearing my dad's words. There's not enough. That's expensive. That's too expensive. We can't afford it. And then there's my mom teaching me about the abundance of the universe and resources that are available to us. And I'm kind of putting these things together. And I wanted to be a star. When I was a little kid, I'm like, I want to be a star. I want to be an entertainer. And my parents are like, no, please don't do it. Never. But Burger King came to town and they were looking for talent in my little itty bitty town. We did not have any money, but we could go to an audition and see if our family could get picked up. Well, guess what? We did. All of us got picked up. All 5 of us were used in the Burger King commercial. They ended up keeping me because they're like, you're our chicken nugget girl. I know this is so crazy. I was the chicken nugget girl. I'm like, here I am, a nutritionist and a fitness guru. And I was the chicken nugget girl. And now you know my secrets. These are the things I keep in my closet, And royalties started to come in. And my dad taught me how to invest. And we tucked that money away. And I would pull it out and I would buy toys. And we didn't have food to eat a lot of the time. But this was something that was tucked away from me. That this is something that I had. And I allowed that to come into my existence because I was in a place of faith and a place of trust, because I remember seeing kids with toys and I'm like, that would be nice. That would be cool. That would be nice. And it's always happened that way. It's very easy to slip out of that prosperity mindset and say, weight loss is hard and there's never enough money. But when I really realize the power of faith and the power of believing that all things are available to me, suddenly it just shows up. It's happened so many times. And there's no reason that that can't keep happening. And when it stops happening, it's because of my mindset. So I want you to ask yourself, whatever area you're really striving in, those goals that you want to achieve faster, and you want less effort to be put into that, change the way that your conscious mind thinks. Just make a decision to believe something different and give yourself reasons to believe something different. A huge part of what I did was start listening to success stories. Like, as far as money, rags to riches stories. Just reading them. There's a plethora of them online. When it came to weight loss, I was reading weight loss stories, and some of them are super cheesy and weird, but success leaves clues. So if you're constantly learning from other people, other avatars, have you read the guys that are looking to get big? Have you read the Arnold Schwarzenegger encyclopedia? That is a wealth of information. Have you gone through every single one of Gabe's videos? Are you staying just on top of what's going on in the supplement industry? Are you listening to fitness podcasts? Are you hanging out with people that are fueling your belief in your ability to succeed? Or are you hanging out with people that are like, ooh, look, it's a donut. You want it. You want it. And you know why people do that? People do that because if they tempt you into breaking your path, then that means that they're okay enough to stay the same. Because sometimes they're not ready. And we release somebody else that's not ready to take action the way we have. They're a different human being. They've got other stuff on their plate. They've got other hangups. They've got other beliefs that they're sorting through. So I want to get into the next point. And that's the issue of needing versus allowing. Do you ever remember when you were a little kid and you wanted ice cream and you're like, please, 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 please. And your parents are like, no, get out of my face. You're obnoxious. How does that feel when you're begged for something? Or there's that cute girl in school, and you want to get her attention and, you throw yourself in her face and you're like, come on, go out on a date with me. Go out, please, please, please go out on a date. That is so gross. So gross. Is that ever going to get you anywhere? No. Well, the universe works the same exact way. If you're in a state of poverty and needing, you can be completely broke and not in poverty. Let me just tell you that, please. Because wealth is within. Wealth is in your physical being. And you can be wealthy with a house that's burned down to the ground. Because joy and peace is what makes you infinitely abundant. So allowing it is kind of being a little bit more playful with the idea of accomplishing your goal. So let's talk about ways to play with your goal. A fun, effortless way to achieve fast is coming up with a vision board. So if it's a fitness goal, you'd maybe Google or go to Instagram and start saving pictures that really inspire you. Because the thing that you want to go for with something like a vision board is the emotion, the actual emotion, the feeling behind that, what you're wanting. Because if you're like, oh, I want a 6-pack. Okay, how does that feel? Versus looking at a 6-pack of somebody that inspires you and says, ooh, okay, that's what I want. You feel it in every fiber of your being. And your cells are listening to you and responding to every single mental stimulus that you have, whether it's subconscious in the back of the mind. And you're going to be paying attention to this. Watch. You're going to be paying attention to this and you're going to recognize, hey, maybe I am kind of scarce in my mindset. Maybe I don't believe that I can accomplish these crazy, awesome fitness goals. So once we realize that it can be an allowing thing versus a need, like a freak out, like, oh, before Friday's pool party, I've got to lose 7 pounds, or wouldn't it be so fun if I could fit into this swimsuit because I would feel awesome in that swimsuit. And guess what? Your physical goal is never about a swimsuit. If you want your goal to be long-term, find out the real reason why. Is it because you don't feel like you're good enough unless you feel like your body's under control? Is it because you're worried about your marriage and you think maybe you can save it if you just get your act together? Are you worried about the message that you're sending your children? You know, we all have these different reasons, but the ones that you feel internally, the ones that you're like, okay, that feels impacting. That's how you know that you have your real reason. And the same thing goes for money. The same thing goes for business. The same thing goes for a spiritual relationship. Any goal that you have to know why it is that you really want it and understand that you're not in this desperate state. You are wealthy and abundant already because your heart is beating in your chest, because the sun is shining. That's not on your to-do list. And you can take a deep breath in, breathe out, forget the past, forget the future, not forever, but for right now, so that you can feel good. Maybe look at your vision board, look at those pictures of the house that you would like to have, or the car that you would like to have, or the education that you would like to provide for your child, or maybe how you want to end up retiring. Be playful with it. See things, read things, watch things that inspire you to meet that goal. And you'll be in a place of allowing versus a place of just desperate need, because it does yield different results. When you're in that place of desperate need and that intensity, you're not feeling good. So much so that your frontal cortex is actually blocked. So you can't think cognitively and you can't think yourself a new solution, because there is no solution, because the only thing that you're thinking about is how much you're freaking out. And everybody hates that. Nobody wants to freak out. It is not fun. So another key factor in this whole idea of less effort, faster results, is believing that the universe is bending in your favor. So often, actually, I just heard somebody say this week, it's like the universe is against me. And words are power, you guys. When we speak this over ourselves, it becomes real. It becomes reality. Our words create it into existence. And not only do our ears hear it, and it goes into our experience, but it goes into the ears of the person that we said it to. And it creates an energy that is counteractive to what it is that you're trying to accomplish. So believing that the universe is bending in your favor is saying, everything is working out for me. And it even goes so far to become an affirmation for you. And that's one that I like to say. I like to say, the universe is bending in your favor. I love to say that. The universe is bending in my favor. The world is out to do me good. I love my life. Try saying those things. I am made for abundance. I am abundant. Good things happen to me. What words do you need to hear to understand that this is not a bad place? I understand that sometimes we get caught in negative momentum and it doesn't feel good. I understand that there are a series of difficult things that come into our lives. This is for your growth, by the way. These are your gifts, because you find solutions and you give them away as gifts to other people. But what do you need to tell yourself in order to understand that this is an abundant universe and that everything that you desire desires you? The next point is you are divinely supported. Whatever goal it is, I thought in the beginning of my weight loss, I'm like, I don't want to, I don't want to involve God, because here I am and 100 pounds overweight, feeling like garbage. This is all my fault. And it's unholy to ask for help. And I had some kind of skewed beliefs in the very beginning. But through my weight loss, my challenge, I've developed beliefs and systems for living that have connected me to the understanding of God in a new way. In fact, it's so different than the God that I thought I knew before that I almost don't want to call God God, but I don't have another word for the experience that I have and the understanding that I am so divinely supported. And that the reason that things are shifting and bending in my favor is because I have an infinite creator that is knocking walls down and kicking doors open so that I can walk through. That doesn't mean there's not going to be effort, but the effort is divinely inspired. The effort feels good. Going to the gym feels good. And sometimes you just need to say that when you don't feel like going, my friend. When you don't feel like going to the gym, I am so excited to crush my workout. You just say it out loud. I mean, I don't want to get weird or anything, but I will admit to you that sometimes my daughter and I make up little songs about the way that we want to feel, about the desires that we want to have. And when we make them songs, they start ringing in our head and we think them all day long, and they are powerful because they shift the way that our minds are thinking. So do you have to make up a song? That's all I'm asking. Understand that you are divinely supported and that all you have to do is actually this, I'm not going to lie. This came to me in meditation a few weeks ago and I loved it. I'm like, what am I supposed to do now? Went through a really, really heartbreaking experience of losing our dog of 16 years. And we didn't even know our marriage without this dog. Like she's amazing. Like she's like an infant, you know, always the size of an infant, but like the way she'd let us hold her and just the experiences we had with her was just like heart-wrenching when we lost her. And so I was like, what am I supposed to do now? Like I was like, what about now? Like this is a hardcore. Like the answer was so direct. The answer was so incredibly direct that it gave me insight that I want to give to you. Here's what I was told. What do you do next? Chop wood, carry water. First off, that's first. Chop wood, carry water. You just go on. You keep doing what you've always been doing. Go through the steps, you know, like you wake up in the morning, you make your coffee, you make your kids some breakfast, like go through the daily processes because you have to continue to be a human being. This is important. You're going to be breathing. You're going to be in these systems. So step number 1, chop wood, carry water. So you're going to do your workouts. You're going to do your nutrition plan. Now, the next step, you chase your inspiration. And the doors will fly open for you. And I just felt that was so profound and so articulately spoken. It just all made sense. You chop wood, carry water. I thought that it was like kind of mundane until I mentioned it to my mother-in-law, Gabe's mom. And she said, that's actually pretty hard. Like chopping wood and carrying water, that can be a really daunting task. And I'm like, yeah, you know, it does really, it gave me insight because I'm like, yeah, it does take effort to get up, go to the gym, work out, or maybe, you know, working till midnight on a podcast. Like Gabe and I do that a ton. And then staying up all night long to try to fix a computer system or a glitch in the website when we don't know what the heck we're doing, but our programmer's house just burnt to the ground. You know, it's chop wood, carry water. You got to go through those tasks, but chase your inspiration. Are you inspired to dance? Then that should be your morning cardio because doors are going to fly open for you. You're going to realize, oh my gosh, I've been dancing. I'm an amazing dancer and I'm shredded. Inspiration is a clue. It's a clue to tell you how to overcome the challenges that you're currently facing, whether it's financially, whether it's in your relationship. Look for windows of inspiration, and you can never be inspired if you're in a place of wanting. And wanting comes from a place of fear or anger, the block of the frontal cortex. Because remember, the frontal lobe is where you're going to get this divine inspiration, these ideas, this creativity. But you'll never get it in a fear state because you are unable to see the answers that are right in front of you. Another thing that I just want to pass over, this is the last point that I'm going to talk to you guys about. Then I'm going to open it up for questions. How do you reach your fitness goals faster with less effort? You take your power back. You're not a victim. How many times have you allowed somebody else to be the reason that you didn't go to the gym that day? Oh, my girlfriend she nags me every single day. Today I'm not going to go. It's like it's too hard with her or whatever. Or I can't believe that my boyfriend didn't go to the grocery store. Now I don't have my keto meal. This is really obnoxious because I'm not expecting anything of him, but he said he was going to go, so it's his fault. Or like my kid is screaming their head off all night long. I'm too tired to get my morning cardio in. When you take back your power, no longer are you holding anybody else responsible for you meeting your goal or for your state of happiness. Because when you step into your power, you're realizing, oh, I choose how I feel. I get to pick happy or sad no matter what goes on. I pick that. And I also decide whether or not I'm going to follow through with my fitness goals, whether or not I'm going to work tonight or just sit on the couch with a beer. It's our choice. And it's never somebody else's fault. It's our choice. And it's our job to take our power back and take responsibility. And that starts in a huge way with, of course, the commitment to not blame other people, but also to forgive them. So let's say you live with a roommate that leaves nasty messes all over the kitchen and you cannot even meal prep. You're so annoyed and you're like, oh my gosh, if my stupid roommate would just pick up her crap, I could make my meals. This is not fair. I cleaned it before I went to bed and I wake up and it's disgusting. Can you forgive? Can you forgive without them saying, I'm sorry? Maybe it's something deeper. Maybe it's childhood trauma. And maybe it was your dad saying, oh my gosh, can you do anything right? Seriously, you're pathetic. Like, can't you just be more athletic? Why aren't you a boy? Or whatever it is. Can you forgive? Because you're not hurting them by harboring unforgiveness. You're hurting yourself. There's no skin off their back. They're like, whatever. You know, I don't even care. It's you that's being hurt. And if you want massive change in your life, if you want explosions in your progress forward, forgive. But there's one more person that you must forgive, and that's yourself. I want you to look in the mirror and I want you to ask yourself, am I harboring anger towards myself and unforgiveness towards myself? And if the answer is yes, I want you to take notice that it's probably being held in your abdominal area. There are scientific reasons for this, which I'm just now discovering, but I've learned in the 14 years that I've been a nutritionist that for some reason, people with unforgiveness and anger, and sometimes fear, but usually it's unforgiveness or anger, usually have some sort of pooch in their belly button. And it's not even necessarily abdominal fat. It's like a roundness in mostly their lower area of their abdominals. It's very interesting. But if you want to get rid of that, there's an extra reason to forgive somebody that you're harboring anger against, but most of all yourself. Because maybe you just didn't meet that fitness goal last time. Maybe you just weren't good enough at football when you were in high school. We carry things like this. But once you forgive, it frees energy within you. And when that energy is freed, you have the capability to do so much more in your life because you're not being drugged down. There have been studies that have been done with pole vaulters, and their jumps literally become lower and lower and less impacting when they are in a state of fear or anger. And those are held in the same place of the body as anger, as unforgiveness. So do ask yourself if you need a little cleanse of some type to just release the way that you have harbored that unforgiveness. Lord almighty, this tongue is out of control right now. So I'm just going to give you guys a little recap of all this stuff. How the heck do you reach your fitness goals faster with less effort? Examine your limiting beliefs. Understand, I don't need this, but I allow it into my life. Step number 3, believe that the universe is bending in your favor. Step number 4, you are divinely supported. Little side note, don't hesitate to start these affirmations if there are new beliefs that you need to bring into your existence. And number 5, take your power back. Decide today that no longer are you going to be held back in your life because of what somebody else said or what somebody else believed, or something that you heard or read or saw. You look yourself in the mirror and you say, I was created by an infinite creator in so much love with so much ability that is far beyond this human vessel. And I am put here to do unimaginable things and inspire a multitude of people. And it starts with the way that I feel. And today, I feel good. I choose to feel good. Not because the situations around me are good, but because I take back my power today and I decide to feel good. All right, you guys. I hope that you have an amazing week. Don't forget, we're going to guard our words this week and speak love over ourselves. Love you guys. Hey, 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 Amanda, Brian, oh, Tanya, Richie, and I don't know how to say your name, Narud. Very, very cool. So you guys, what questions do you have for me? Lay it on me. How are you tonight? I'm going to check out the chats. So you can type your question in the chats. Lay it on me. We'll talk about anything. I think somebody should type it in awkward question and make everybody feel weird, because that would be kind of fun. What do you think? No? I think yes. Maybe I should ask one of you an awkward question. Would that be cool? Ooh, okay. Richie had a question about the last podcast, but he forgot. Wah, wah, wah. Oh, love you, Brian. No problem at all, man. Like, we're so happy to... We're always happy to give to you guys. It's really crazy because when the world is crumbling, that is when we do our best serving. It's crazy. I mean, maybe things are chaotic and we don't have, there's always time, right? But it feels like we don't have time. It feels like the walls are closing in and it feels like, okay, this is really, but I realize we're able to create steps to help other people. And so when we're in the midst of chaos, that's the most powerful time for us to serve. That's when it feels the best to serve. And that's when we help find other solutions to help other people. Sean, so when are we having chicken for dinner? You're a terrible person. So you guys know we got Henny Penny, chicken licking, whatever. They say it's a hen now. I can't eat him. He's so sweet. Who would ever do that? So Sean came over the other day. Sean's our cinematographer, so you guys know. Say hi to Sean. What up? He's so awesome. He's funny and he's sweet and he's amazing and he treats our daughter like gold. She thinks he is like a hero. It's really cute. And he is a hero. So he walks in. He didn't know the chicken was there a couple weeks ago. Like totally tracked poop like all through the house because the chicken poops everywhere. And we're like, oh, it's so disgusting. And so he steps in the poop and it's like all the way up, all the way up the stairs. And we're like, well, that's disconcerting. Oh, yeah. Genesis 2.0. Yes. That is going to be, oh, man. So we added a lot more science to that program than we even expected to. So it is on its way. Gabe's being fierce about the development of that program. It's actually pretty shocking because the information is really complex, but he wants it out now because he's amazing. He's so, he's my hero. So it's coming out soon, but we have not set a launch date. And Brian, I don't know if you saw my comment on Facebook, but I truly believe the chicken is Pero coming back to you. Thank you. Well, it's so weird because Pero, our puppy, like little lovey, that we just lost, she is the same color, weighs the same, and has the same little sounds about food. It's really strange. So our dog Pero, our little chihuahua, she'd come into the kitchen when we were cooking and she'd be like, just like, I don't know where that came from. And now when we pass the chicken and she thinks we have food, it's like, I'm totally going to do an impression for you guys. Are you ready? The chicken goes like, it's so funny. So it's like the same little noise. And then it does weird, like patronizing things the same exact way that Pero, it's very weird because Pero was gone and our first full day home, this random chicken shows up and actually comes into our house. For those of you that aren't following us on Snapchat, it was bizarre. It was crazy. This chicken literally walks into the house like she owns the place and knew where everything was. Oh, Richie, it was a debacle. That's the truth. She just walks in like she owns the place. She's probably got like all these like poultry mites and junk, but we're like, okay, let's see. How do we get her out? Well, Mia's got her in the sink. She's cleaning this chicken, like washing the chicken. And the chicken's like, cool, okay. Lets us hold her. Lets us pet her until she falls asleep. It's super cute. We're having a good time. And it's just what we needed to kind of, we were feeling like an emptiness with this dog gone. And so having the chicken there, we stopped feeding her and we make her sleep outside now. But it's brought us so much joy and kind of diverted us from kind of an emptiness that you feel when any pet or family member transitions. So it's all these like hidden blessings. And again, it's all about perspective because it's so easy to look at the situation and be like, you stupid idiot, why are you pooping all over the yard? You know, but recognizing that this hen is a gift to us and has blessed us in so many ways. It's actually turned out to be pretty cool. Another little lesson in life. It's really interesting. I see some of my girls on here, and I want to let you know there has been a glitch in Revolution. So some of the girls have been getting, let's see, a week early, I guess. So you're being suggested to use phase 2 a week before you're actually supposed to use phase 2. So I want to let you know that this is in the process of being fixed right now. And if it's not fixed already, it will be by the end of the day. And if you have any problems, harass Sean. He loves it. Sean@bodyspartan.com. And if you want to just message him and let him know what an awesome guy he is, you absolutely can, because he is the reason that our content is so awesome, because he helps a lot and he is amazing behind the camera and he's the force of positivity. So how do you not love that? What other questions do you guys have? If I miss one, Sean, let me know. No Body Spartan left behind. I'll give you guys just a couple minutes. Okay, Brian, nutrition question. Thoughts on doing Unleashed with its macros set for lower body weight versus Unleashed with keto? I'm still too fat, but want mass. Okay, first of all, I'm going to start by rephrasing that, because this is so much about what we were talking tonight. And so I love that we can kind of tweak it just a little bit. So instead of, how do you feel when you say, I'm still too fat? Does it feel good or does it feel not good? What if instead you said, I'm still focused on leaning out, or I'm still focused on losing body fat, but I also want mass? Get what I'm saying? Words are crazy. Words are so powerful, you guys. They really do. I've read studies that show that they change us genetically. What? That's nuts. So not only do we change our own cells in our body, but we change the future generations because of our cells. So when we give birth to and also the way that we talk to our children too, that's changed. Anyways, okay. Tangent, sorry. So I would say that Unleashed with the Genesis diet would be great if you're still working on leaning out. But I know a lot of guys that use the Genesis type diet for mass building too. If you're still feeling like you're wanting to lose body fat, you can absolutely do the Genesis nutrition plan with the Unleashed workouts. Let me know if that answers your question or not. Richie, I'm on the last couple of weeks of Genesis, and I've been noticing the workout routine was taking me around 35 minutes to finish. Is that normal? I have been adding exercises and supersetting to extend my lift times. Is that okay? I wouldn't worry about adding to it. What I would prefer that you do is add intensity to it, because it's not necessarily about working longer. It's about working smarter. And it's about that time under, Sean, it's about that time under tension. So it has been specifically calculated on purpose, exactly the way that it is laid out for a reason. You don't need to add anything else to it. The only thing that I would add to it is the mindset that says, I'm going to lift as hard as I possibly can for however long it takes me to finish this workout routine. I'm going to crush out my fasted cardio, and I'm going to get incredible results. So don't feel like you need to add anything to that. Some people add daily cardio when they get down to the shorter workout times, but definitely make sure that you are squeezing and contracting those muscles and lifting absolutely as heavy as you can for every single set. That goes for my ladies too. Y'all better be crushing it in the gym. Lift heavy. Richie, should I do slower negatives or longer squeezes? Okay, you've been at this for a while. What feels best to you? Because they're going to work in a different way. But when you're controlling and you're putting all of your energy into every single repetition, and you're doing the cadence that's recommended in Genesis, you're going to succeed. If you feel like you need slower negatives or longer squeezes, get them. Personally, right now, I've been doing a lot of time under tension, a lot of the squeezes, and time under tension could involve slower negatives or longer squeezes, because the thing that's going to get you results is time under tension. So hopefully that was clear the way that I explained that. Brian, Richie, when I did Genesis, I was the same because my recovery is high. I just pushed as hard as possible. Excellent. Brian is such like the poster child. You guys have no idea. He's awesome. What else you guys got for me? Oh, Danielle, hi. I really need help with food prep. It's taking hours and I don't have the time. I'm desperate for a better way to do it and I get burnt out. Okay, let's focus on foods that are pre-cooked. So in the beginning, how far into the program are you, honey? Because if you're just getting started, it takes longer than it actually will. Okay, 3 weeks. So you should be getting into your groove right now. It should not take you hours. Are you doing meal prep once a week? You did Genesis last year and had the same issue. There's a couple of articles. Sean, if you have those 2 to 3 times a week for meal prep. Okay. So one thing that you can try is pre-cooked meats. I love those. I showed those on the Revolution videos, some of the ones that I used. So it's either, pre-cooked chicken or turkey slices or Greek yogurt. You guys, I'm going through like a phase with this Greek yogurt thing. I found out that low-fat Greek yogurt has 25 grams per serving. I can't think, it's 4-letter word. I can't think of what it's called. I can't think of it if any of you know. But it's high protein, low carb, low fat, and it's an awesome source of protein. So that's another quick, easy way because you just grab it. And with the girls on Revolution, I'm giving them small portions of fruit because you can stay within your macros and have, some berries. So you can toss that in. You can also add a little Truvia to it. That's a quick, easy protein. Not every single one of your meals has to be so, cooked right on the spot. So find ways that you can kind of mix it up. There's also, we use a meal prep company when times are real, stressful or busy. If we're working on some big projects, we use Nutrition Solutions, and Sean can actually post a link to our Nutrition Solution program that we have access to. They're amazing. They always get it right. They're awesome with keto. They're awesome with Unleashed. And we've been really, really happy. And you just grab a meal and go. It's super simple. We've also got a podcast. Sean, I hate to make you jump around the universe for links, but we also have a podcast on meal prep too. Will you please post the link to that podcast for her so that she can listen and kind of get some ideas from the Stinky Boys? Yeah, they all came over the other day, Danielle. They're so crazy. They're nuts. And they did this podcast, but they're like sitting there like it's their refeed day. They're like drinking scotch and like being loud and crazy. I'm like, oh my gosh, they're nuts. Oh, you just signed up for the podcast? Okay, baby, then just jump on and look. I think it's just meal prep, but Sean will probably dig that up for you real fast. He's amazing like that. Nice. Richie, he says, I love the program, entering week 11 and I'm down 36 pounds. Amazing. Absolutely incredible. Do you guys have anything else right off the bat? Ooh, meal prep idea. In case you're not seeing it, Danielle, meal prep idea. Make little egg omelets in cupcake tins. 4 to 6 meals in 25 minutes. I love that idea. We did those on our cooking show not too long ago for Body Spartan Army, and Sean can link you so that you can get what? Can you do like a month for free, Sean, for her? Maybe. And then that way you can go and look at those recipes because we did have the little egg omelets, which is really awesome. Do you guys have anything else right off the top of your heads? Because if not, I'm just going to talk about weird stuff or go kiss my baby goodnight. Okay, cool. So Sean, Danielle, baby, Sean's going to get you a special link so that you can get Body Spartan Army for free for a month. And then you can check out all of our recipes. We've kind of changed the way we do recipes. That one was back when we first started, and we realized we want to crank them out fast for you guys because you're busy, and we want to give you quick, easy meals that you can do that don't take that much time. And pre-cooked meats are a way that you can really do it fast. And again, like the yogurt, we've also got that audio that you can listen to that'll be very, very helpful. But not everything has to be like this traditional crazy. And you should know your portion sizes by now too. So you have this much chicken, you have this much meat. And for me, I'll do like 2 or 3 meals, and that's it. And I'll just put them into the little individual containers and then just go through them. It shouldn't take that long. Hopefully we can clear that up for you because you should not be spending all that time in the kitchen. That's not, we want to create tools and processes for you guys that allow you to do this for the rest of your life. Not just, while you're on the program. We're trying to hook you up forever. Amanda, if we're not hungry, if we are not hungry, do we not worry about hitting macros? Amanda, are you on Revolution? You're not challenged, Danielle. You're awesome and you're delicious. We love you. So on Revolution, I absolutely do not force feed my girls. And that is what, yay, just starting. Awesome, honey. So yeah, you don't have to worry about hitting all of your macros. I don't want to see you guys like sitting there eating like, because I don't want you to be slaves to food rules. If any of you have read my weight loss book, How I Lost 100 Pounds, that's what I was. I was an orthorexic. I was constantly worried about all my food rules, and it started to run my life and harm my marriage because I was like getting ready for competitions and I had to have this perfect this and that perfect that. And I'd bring my meals along with me, which is great. It's great but over the course of your life, that's not conducive and it's not healthy. So this program is highly effective even if you don't get in all of your meals. But just make sure that you're eating the right macros. Make sure that you're hitting the right amounts of protein, fats. But if you don't get it all in, it's not the end of the world. Oh, day 1 workouts for today. How'd that go for you? Was that a unicorn? Did you just do a unicorn? Because if you did, that's adorable. How do you do a unicorn on here? She's like, day 1 workouts, unicorn. Adorable. Hopefully it went well. Nice. All right, you guys. Oh, yeah, she's like, great legs. Wow, thanks. P.S. I love all your podcasts. Aw, thank you for supporting us, babe. We really appreciate that a lot. You guys are why we exist. And I can't tell you how much you mean to us. I'm seeing one more message. Oh, it was Danielle's. Okay. I just looked at the other Q&A. All right, my sweet lovers. I hope that you guys have the most amazing night. Go back in, if you're on Body Spartan Army, listen to this again. Because some of these things that we've gone over tonight can create a shift in your life. It will leave you never the same in the area of finances, in the area of achieving the body that you want to have. You can have that. It is available to you. It is possible. And the challenge of the week is to guard your words. So when you say something, ask yourself, does this feel good? Does this feel good what I'm saying? Or do I need to rephrase so that it feels more powerful for me? All right, you guys. Love your faces. Have an awesome week.
For more free information on fitness, nutrition, and bodybuilding, visit us at www.bodyspartan.com.
Indestructible, undeniable. I'm a man with a plan, understand.